Only hot girls listen to IB Advices and Experiences podcast in their free time. So whoever's listening, warm and sparkly welcome or welcome back to the IB Goss podcast. An IB podcast that will add up 250 oral points to your guaranteed 45 points at the end of the DP2 graduation.
I'm gonna have to quit drinking coffee, and I love coffee.
Hey study stars! I hope you had an amazing summer and you really enjoyed the upgrade of the podcast with a new introduction. I feel like it's so spiced up now and more girly and giving the pink IB goals more than it was before. And obviously, cheers to you guys on your academic comeback this year. I only have one shot on this. Okay. I've been obsessed with Lipton tea recently so much. I feel like that's the only drink that is bottled up in cans that I feel plus or minus healthy to drink. Like, obviously Coke, no for me. Sprite, somewhat yes, but I'm concerned about the amount of sugars they have in there. And all the substitutes they have for sugars make me have these horrible headaches. And Lipton tea with low in calories and low in sugar, it's been working for me so well so far. And I'm feeling myself in such a academically comeback study girl era when I just have it on my desk and I can sip it while studying or listening to a podcast on the walk. And I feel like this is just a perfect drink for my current era, and this is me enjoying it while talking to you guys. Anyway, I hope you're ready to dive deep, but not too deep into today's episode, because a recent discovery I made about myself is the fact that I cannot comprehend editing a podcast episode that goes 30 minutes or 30 minutes beyond this. That is actually the fact why I am re-editing, re-recording this episode, because at first I had version number 1, but it was 30-minute plus, and just in general lots of yapping, which I love about yapping. But I feel like when you try to educate yourself on the concrete topic, you do not specifically need this yapping, so you just want to concentrate for maximum 20 minutes on the topic and then gain all you need to gain from the conversation and move on. But in case you do looking for a content where someone is yapping in a cute way I do about stuff that is academically acceptable, that brings you motivation to study, but also can be just a background noise to get ready or to read a book or to maybe clean your room, you can always check out my YouTube channel, because I feel like if you're enjoying this content, you would also love to see what I do else. So that's why all the links are mentioned in the description of the episode, and you're free to check it out. I feel myself so ready for this episode because week ago, I did this massive research on all the materials I would possibly need for DP. I searched for hours on TikTok on all the coolest apps that people can possibly recommend to survive through DP. I searched hours on Instagram, on Google search. I watched dozens of YouTube videos. I asked ChatGPT thousands of questions on the topic, just so you guys can have it all right now summed up in this hopefully no longer than 20-minute episode. So let's just get started with some of the websites I think are really crucial for your DP journey and could definitely save up a lot of time. Research indicates that students who plan ahead for exams generally perform better than those who procrastinate. For example, John Hattie's 2009 study on strategic study found that proactive planning and consistent study habits lead to better exam results compared to the last-minute cramming. And even though ChatGPT summed up this because they didn't want to make this information too long, what it basically meant is the fact that people who are studying with the mind of exams coming up at the end of the year, in general, perform better than people who try to ignore the fact that exams are coming sooner or later and only started thinking about them when the exam week prep hits. And with this information, I believe that the website that you should also have in the back of your mind, just the way you have exams coming up at the back of your mind and you're knowing and embracing the fact that they're coming and how are you gonna implement this information in your daily life. Revisionvillage.com is an amazing website to, in general, prepare for the exams because it has lots of information, past papers, and all of that cutesy stuff that you could be using. So definitely keep that in mind. I, for myself, have it pinned on my computer and on my phone. So even when I feel like, oh, exams are coming, how am I gonna prepare? Like, I feel this need to remind myself that I have it under control. I like to scroll through this website and see that it provides me with a lot of information and a lot of materials that I could potentially use for my preparation, and it in general calms me down. What this website does is that at first, in the registration process, it asks you if you're an MD student, and I love it because this personalized stuff, I swear, it makes my organized self be so happy and just giggling with excitement. So it asks you that, and then obviously it asks you what DP subjects you chose to organize all of your subjects accordingly. And from there on, you have this scroll-on page of different subjects that you chose in DP, and you just search for the subject you need. So for example, let me choose biology, and here I choose what level I want, so SL, HL, and for example I choose SL biology, and I'm immediately faced with, again, a scroll page of the description of the course, what it is about, and a little bit down you've got a couple of tabs. First one you have is the question bank, and hey you guys, it's a quick interruption from Emily from the future, and I just want to correct myself on the way I'm explaining to you guys what the question bank is, because I just want to make myself as clear as possible. So I'm just gonna read out loud what the revisionvillage.com says what the question bank is, according to their definition. The IB Biology SL Standard Level 2024 Question Bank is a great source of practicing questions coming from the entire syllabus. Each question comes with a clear mark scheme and solution video with an experienced IB teacher going through the question step by step. The questions are organized by topic and arranged by difficulty, making it the perfect source for studying a particular concept. Which pretty much sums up the idea that even though the website has lots of good information I would like to be using when I'm going to be prepping for my exams, still the question bank option is a huge opportunity to practice daily, to warm up, and in general use the flashcards on the topic that you're currently studying in school as a way to learn every day. After question bank, the next tab you have on the same website is practice exams, which is pretty self-explanatory, practice for the exams. Then you got key concept, and this tool is different in each subject. Sometimes it's key concept, sometimes it's smart guys, sometimes it's something else. But basically you've got topics and in general, sometimes even concept about the exams that people usually mess up. So this is just a guidebook to information you might not understand about the subject or about the concept in particular, so topic or unit. And the last one you have is past papers, which is obviously past papers on the exams that were faced ever in the IB Biology SL, and you can choose which paper you want to do, so number 1 or number 2, and all of that connects to the IB Biology exams. And my next cutie patootie on the list is the revisiondojo.com, which has a similar way of signing up where you are asked what DP subjects you're taking, to what IB school you're going, and let's pretend that this time I want to study and learn more about psychology. So I click on that, and immediately I'm faced with the fact that this website can generate mock exams, and this is also something you should keep in mind to preparation for your exams. But anyways, it has all the units that you could cover in psychology, and the first unit that I'm faced is biological approach, so I click on that, and I have 4 tabs such as learn, question bank, study notes, and flashcards. For myself, I divided this website into 3 categories. So the material and tabs I'm using to learn the material if I did not understand it in class or I need someone else to explain it to me. Material I could be using for my exams, and material that I would be used for active recalls. So for the learn part, it is study notes and learn tab. Study notes is basically a note written format of the material explained in a written format. So you read through, you have all the key information highlight or in bold, and then learn is where you have the information written on a screen, you read through it, and then you are faced with a flashcard which ask you a question about the information you just read. So that's a good use of famous technique, but also could be used as an active recall. For exams, I obviously got question bank, and for active recalled flashcards, especially because revisiondojo.com has its subjects separated into the units you learn at school. Flashcards are really useful because they're already generated and they are asking you questions on the information that you should already know. So I like to use flashcards especially to warm up or cool down after my study session. My next website on my list is really made for Langing Lit and literature girlies who really want to dive into all the concepts and understanding of poetry, literature, and all of the cutesy stuff that hides behind this massive title of the course, Langing Lit or literature. So this website has 4 tabs: literature, poetry, literary terms, and Shakespeare Clear. Starting with Shakespeare Clear, this tab is designed for every Shakespeare's play, poem, and sonnet alongside a modern English translation everyone can understand. And I think this is super helpful when you are asked to read something in the original and you do not understand this. It has all of the things that he wrote, I think. Like, the list is huge and you can find literally anything on here, and I think that's such a lifesaver because you can always have it on a computer. You have everything organized by acts, by scenes, and that is just so adorable. Next, literally terms, you could already guess, but you could search up any term that you have concerns about, you do not really understand it. So for example, what is a metaphor? You searched up and it has a really cutesy explanation about what is metaphor. The definitions are simple and it makes sure that everyone can understand what it's talking about. In poetry tab, you have a long list of poetry that the website has, and obviously you can search up the exact poem you're looking for, and it has basically everything: analysis, summary, what techniques the poem is using, the theme, what the theme was highlighted. And I think this is a good way to check yourself when you analyze the poem if you were going in the right direction, or maybe teach yourself on how to do it right. So this is something I'm definitely going to be using this year. And finally, literature, which is similar to poetry because it just has long list of literature, and you can obviously again look up something in specific you're looking for. And it has lots of tabs like introduction, plot summary, details and summary analysis, themes, quotes, characters, symbols. And I think this is also a really cool device that you should at least keep in mind when dedicating your time to Langing Lit or literature. The next website I've got is for the girlies who like to read articles and want to educate themselves more on how they can get through and thrive in the IB school and in their DP journey. It is called ibelieve.org. And it is not only about articles written on how to study in IB school, how to be a DP student. It is also provides you with the opportunity to be tutored and mentored. It has also volunteering opportunities to be a tutor or to be a mentor, which I think is a really cool way of beginning your CAS this year. And the thing I personally explored more this week was the opportunity of becoming a part of a team. They suggest lots of cool places that you as an IB student or IB graduate can apply to. They have things from being a writer to posting on their social media to managing some of the more serious stuff that I didn't really look in. I concentrated more on a creative part such as writer. So if you are into this is also the opportunity you could totally use for your CAS or in general just to advance your skills in writing and maybe do as a passion project. Moving on and giving some attention to the math girlies, the next website is called christosnikolaites.com, which you spell as CHRISTOSNIKOLAIDIS.com. The website is immediately separated into Math AA and Math AI. And let's, for example, check out Math AA for this example. You are immediately struck with 6 tabs. The first one is Math AA Lecture Notes, which has material separated into the topics and units. And for example, if you missed a school day when your classmates started a new topic and they have a horrible handwriting and you just need lecture notes and in general understand the topic, this is where you go to. And obviously, if you need to relearn and reteach yourself the material, again, this is where you go to. Math AA exercise. Here you find exercises for your both exams that you will have in the future, and just in general, units divided into the topics. And for example, you choose a specific topic such as algebra functions, and you have a list of exercises, which is so good because they are also can be downloaded as a PDF. You have answers to them, you have solutions, so that is really helpful. And in general, if you want to study more for the topic that you feel weak about and you just don't want to redo the problems your teacher gave you because you already memorized the answers, this is where you go to. Math AAHL tests. This one is for Math AAHL. Obviously, they've got the tests separated into the topics, into the units. So if you're having your first, for example, unit test, you can use their material to prepare yourself. You can obviously download the tests. They have answers for it as well. So if you've already gone through the school material the teacher provided you with, you can also check this out. I think that's super helpful that they also tests and not just exams prep, because how are you going to survive exams if you failed all the tests? This key feature prevents you from both. Math AA formula booklets, where they obviously have all the formulas that you would need for the test and for the exams. Math AA HL paper 3 questions. This is especially for HL math girlies who would need to do, unfortunately, paper 3 questions, but I hope you're gonna enjoy it and thrive. So this prepares you for that. And Math AA SL test, which is basically the same thing as Math AA HL test, but talks about SL information. And let's give a round of applause for the psychology girlies. I have a huge website and in general a tip I heard from this girl on TikTok, and I feel like obviously I'm gonna give the website to you in a minute and briefly explain it, but I would want to have a separate topic about this website and the strategy I came up with to study for the psychology in the DP course, because I think it's genius. I think it is a really good way of active recall. It saves you up time before exams. It makes you be more prepared in some way. And in general, I feel like that's a completely different discussion. But anyway, the website name is thematic-education.com, where you have exam question bank for all the papers that you're gonna have in psychology exams, such as paper 1, paper 2, paper 3. And not only you have that, but you also have not obviously official IB, SAQ, and ERQ questions, but the ones that are really close. And I'm really, really excited to talk, maybe even in the next episode, about how you could use this website to thrive throughout your academic year. Even though this website is made to be as a preparation for your exam, I have an amazing, cool technique that I'm so excited to share with you guys. But anyway, it has a topic of SAQs and ERQs question. And for now, that's all I'm going to say about this website. You can obviously go and check it out. This is in fact all it has. And this is all I'm going to say for now.
I'm gonna have to quit drinking coffee. And I love coffee.
Here, my drink is completely empty. I'm done with it, just like we're done with our discussion. I really hope that you got all the information that you needed. And hot girls don't gatekeep. So in case you have a friend who's struggling with the BDP program and maybe they're just entering it, or in general, if you know that they would benefit from the information I'm talking in today's episode, please make sure to share the podcast with them, because we are all in this together and we shouldn't go against each other. So let's just keep helping one another, and this way we are really securing our 45 points at the end of the DP2 graduation. I hope you're gonna have a great day and see you next time, and bye-bye!